Hey, good evening. How's everyone tonight?
Hi, how are you?
Wow, we have run the emotional gambit for this Royal Rumble tonight. First of all, our first pay-per-view back in 7 weeks, something like that, if you don't include the NXT special. But yeah, we went through the whole range of emotions. We got some anger, we got some happiness, got a few tears from you. Couple times. I think Royal Rumble always does that to you.
Yeah, it does. It gets me so emotional.
It does. Just you look at the entire pay-per-view. The Royal Rumble has always had a special place for us. It's my favorite easily every year, because you just never know what you're going to get. And as a fan of wrestling, you get the best of the past as well as the best of the future. And we truly got exactly that from our two Rumble winners tonight. You got the best of the present, and how ironic I use the word best because it has EST in it. With the winner of the Women's Rumble being Bianca Belair from number 3. That had Kia and us just on the floor just in tears and, jumping up and down in our living room and everything else.
Who said it?
She's
Me. I said it.
Go.
I said it yesterday on our Top Rope spoiler. She's going to win the whole thing, and darn good if she did not win.
She did. She ran the tail, and I love the "you don't go here" storyline rearing its head again with the final 3 being Bianca, Charlotte, and Rhea. With ultimately Charlotte getting removed from the occasion. I'm glad they didn't have Charlotte's elimination be by Lacey Evans or by Ric Flair. I thought the Women's Rumble was extremely well done across all categories, having Lana returning and getting the last laugh over Nia and Shayna.
But let's not forget my girl Naomi. Yeah. Ooh.
And boy, did she show off again as usual. First of all, getting trusted, coming back after 6 months, getting trusted in the number 2 slot. And lasting all the way to the final couple there. Another great out-of-the-ring save using Bianca's own hair to help her back in and, managed to make it work. We hate that if Naomi can't win it, though, Bianca wins it. So, that made our house extremely happy. And then, of course, the Men's Rumble, kind of going the way we thought it would all the way up until the very last possible second. A lot of good names in there. A lot of good feel-good stories. Some of them ending much earlier than I thought they would. I thought they sent Ali out a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
I think they could have had Dolph Ziggler do something a little bit more. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan not even making it into the final 4 or 5. Strowman once again. Somehow it seems like every Rumble he's at 30.
I'm surprised they didn't have Rude come in. I figured at some point he's going to come in, but Christian came back.
And you're right, giving Edge and Christian that moment. You could see Edge tearing up as he was coming down, and figuring for the first time in a decade, the two of them in the same ring wrestling at the same time, so what a feel-good moment for Edge.
I got to see my peep. I haven't seen him. Last time we saw him, I think he was getting laid out by, I think, Randy Orton with, Ric Flair was part of that storyline. I think Shawn Michaels, and I think The Big Show. That was the last time we had seen him. And how coincidence that he comes back, and how even more so that Edge ends up taking him out. Now, you figured I picked Randy Orton to win the whole entire thing. I figured that would have been a feel-good story.
And you came within one elimination of getting both picks right. But, it's bad because, as a wrestling fan, we sat there and, and having watched as many Rumbles as I have, I'm sitting here going, we all know where this is heading. Orton's going to come back out. He's going to RKO Edge, and then he'll throw him out, and Orton wins the Rumble, only to have the nice swerve right at the very end of Edge spinning him and throwing him out. So Edge gets the Rumble win.
For me, last year, for anybody that knows and that was with us or has seen the videos, when Edge came back last year, nobody expected it, and of course, I am one of the biggest Edge heads ever, so for me, that was a feel-good moment, and just to see him win, that's even better. Randy Orton didn't win, I'm fine, but Edge did, and I want to see who he's going to face, honestly.
Because I agree, because I could see him against Reigns or him against McIntyre. I could see either one, both Reigns and McIntyre, of course, both getting it done tonight. Reigns putting on, Reigns and Owens, once again putting on a very hardcore match, as you knew the two of them would. And for those of us who were interested in such things, that gave us an opportunity to see what the rest of the Thunderdome looks like behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg and McIntyre at the very beginning, you weren't really sure which way that was going to go because Goldberg has been renowned for being very similar to Lesnar, and getting his titles won right before Mania. But they put on a very good, very hard crush match. At the very beginning, blow for blow.
Blow for blow, and I always expect it's going to be like less than 5 minutes for Goldberg, but I mean, he was not my pick tonight, but he kind of showed me something, and I was kind of glad. If you watched it all the way to the end, if you haven't, go watch it. If you've watched it all the way to the end, just the respect factor that both of these two had for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You have a legend, and then you have someone who could at some point be in the Hall of Fame and be first ballot tier or whatever. But, I mean, the way that worked out, respects and kudos to just the match being what it was.
And also, how about a respect factor from the business itself? I watched Goldberg throughout his entire career in WCW, and then during his time in WWE, and I'm pretty certain you can count on one hand the number of people who've kicked out of the jackhammer. That is one of the most protected finishers in the entire business. So the fact that they allowed Drew McIntyre to be a person to kick out of the jackhammer, tells you what kind of level they now have Drew McIntyre at in this business.
But let me ask you a question.
We'll see we'll see.
Let me ask you a question. With that respect factor being what it is, going back to Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, do you think that Roman Reigns respects Owens a little bit more each time they fight, even though he is the one that turns out to be victorious?
I would think so. Now at this point, I think that storyline's pretty much done.
Yeah.
I think Owens had his shot. And he wasn't able to get it done in the most brutal of circumstances. So now Roman, looks ahead. The expectation is there will be at least one pay-per-view. I'm hearing rumors of 2 potentially. I expect Elimination Chamber to be there, and then there's still discussion possibly of an Armageddon pay-per-view at the end of February. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes next, if there will be one pay-per-view or 2 between now and WrestleMania. But we at least know 2 people that are heading there, and that's going to be Bianca Belair and Edge.
And let's not forget Sasha and Carmella, y'all saw what she was wearing tonight. She was slaying. Okay.
Which one? Because we're talking about both.
I'm talking about Sasha.
Yeah, the Gucci outfit.
Woo!
But and very very quietly, they put on a great match. It kind of slid under the radar because of Bianca's good, match afterwards. So she kind of stole the spotlight, as she should, in such a historic win. But Sasha getting her business done. Everything now seems like it's pointed towards Bianca and Sasha main eventing likely night 1 of WrestleMania. So we'll see if that's the route that Bianca wants to go, or does she want Asuka? Or does she potentially want Io Shirai? Does she want the NXT title, a title she never won while she was there? So, Io's fair game at this point. And Edge, of course, you wonder if maybe you get Edge and we keep talking about Edge and Roman or Edge and Drew. Well, what about Edge and Finn Balor? That's a match that could potentially happen. Not out of the realm after what Charlotte did last year. Only one title changes. Well, I say only one title changes hands, but actually 3 titles changed hands tonight.
Yep.
We ended up with new women's tag champs with Shayna and Nia beating Charlotte and Asuka on the pre-show. And then the 24/7 title changes hands 3 times, including during the middle of the Women's Rumble, as Alicia Fox ends up pinning R-Truth. Truth wins it back after Fox is eliminated. And then it was Peter Rosenberg, I believe, is the one who ends up tricking Truth. And so he actually walks out of Royal Rumble as 24/7 champion at the moment. So I'm sure that won't stick around very long. But a nice little comic moment for Truth. Losing his title, winning it back, and then losing it again. And a good moment for Alicia Fox, getting a chance to put a championship under her belt.
I just love the fact that, all the legends and came back, or all the people who are retired or who decided to go. Mickie James, Alicia, Goldberg, as much as I wasn't really for that. Victoria was a surprise entrance. Tori Wilson, and then, all these people that came back and put on a hell of a show. So congratulations to every one of you.
And putting up a number of people from the NXT roster as well. Damian Priest putting on a good show in the men's. Then you had Shotzi Blackheart. You had Rhea Ripley, who's, I guess, technically still NXT at the moment. Mm-hmm. All putting on good matches. Just fantastic work from all sides. And like I said, we basically went through the emotional gambit. We had laughs, we had cries, we had anger, we had, a little bit of everything, and that's what you should get from a pay-per-view. If it's got you in your feelings, then it's done its job. But
Alexa is about to run right through everybody from the women's division. She was about to, I call it Alexa up or whatever, and then Rhea threw her out, so she didn't really get the chance. Sorry,
yeah,
Alexa.
I was going to say, but now Alexa's going to unleash some fury on a lot of people, and that might be where Rhea Ripley starts his storyline with Alexa Bliss. But we'll see where that heads. But anyway, we're going to let you guys roll. I think ultimately we're happy with the results. I think a lot of people are too. Maybe the Edge one may be a little predictable, but, still a very feel-good story for Edge to get that one moment. He joins an elite list of very few people who have won 2 Rumbles. And then, of course, the big story of the night, Bianca Belair. She called it. She said it.
This girl,
Bianca
right
Belair heading to WrestleMania as the Rumble winner in only her second Rumble. So,
She did it, girl.
And now we'll see if she can win her first title at WrestleMania. So you guys have yourself a good rest of your night. And we will be catching you guys down the road. Wish my girl luck if you're on here. She starts her new job tomorrow. So wish her luck. And we'll catch you guys later on this week. Have a good one.
Peace.